again. It's Kazzie K back to talk about my journey from child abuse to published author. When I decided to write Whispers of Hope, which is my personal journey, it was a culmination of many, many years of keeping a journal and a diary. And I've always written about every lesson I've ever learned in life, for no other reason than it seems somehow etched once it's written to word. But it was never to be published. It was my own private hell. It was my own journey, and I felt that what was there for anyone else to gain from it? I got an email by a young girl who was in a terrible state. Her abuse was driving her towards suicide, and I didn't know how to help her. My husband said, "Why don't you send her Whispers of Hope?" My reply was, "It's not published." It wasn't even edited of any degree. It was just the ramblings of one woman's pain. But it was when I went back and reread what I'd written, I soon realised it wasn't a book of pain. It really had become a book of hope. It became a book of survival. And it became a book that I'm immensely proud of today. But in its rawest form, I sent it to this young girl that was struggling. And the joy I received back made me realise that I'm not sharing my pain in Whispers of Hope. I explain my journey, but it's more about the lessons and the way I healed that I really do now want to share with everybody. Because it's not just about abuse, it's for all of us that have suffered trauma or hurt, even, I guess. Because the basis of all abuse is hurt. This is my book. This is Whispers of Hope. Being self-published means that it comes out when the finances are available, and most self-publishers will know it's not an easy task. But when it does, I know that it will help many, as it's already done thus far on those that I've given it to who are in need. And what is money? What is a completely perfectly bound book if someone's in trouble? I put it to a PDF file so that those that really needed it in a hurry could have the use of it. Because that's what it's about, isn't it, in life? If you have something that you can share that will make someone else's life just a little bit easier, isn't that our job? All of us, the rich and the poor alike, we all have to share for the world to be a better place. And I'm not talking money. I'm talking our advice and our respect and our journeys, because each and every one of us has a story to tell. But mine didn't end there. I became very unwell a few years back. And my fear was that my mind was going to leave me, and then what would I have left? That might sound funny, but my body was being crippled by an illness that I had no control over. But I was damned if it was taking what I had, and that was my mind. So that's when I decided one day, in my infinite wisdom, I was going to write a book. I didn't know what I was going to write it about. I just decided I was going to write a book. And I did. And then, what was I going to call this masterpiece? Sat and thought about it for a while, and thought about my life, and thought about the people in my life. And so the title was kind of appropriate. Time Lies, Fate and Family. Has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? And many people have asked me why I came up with the title, and I'll tell you what I told them. Buy the bloody book. Read it, you'll soon understand. But you see, it didn't stop there. I wrote Time Lies, and then I wrote Passion for Justice. And sorry, I'm not holding it up the right way, and my cameraman's telling me so. Passion for Justice was a follow-on from Time Lies, and I wrote in 2003. And the story behind that's a deeply personal one, and one that I'm not sharing, okay? I've got to keep some things for myself. But after Passion came Madison v. Francini, and this was written in 2005. And again, strangely enough, it followed on. And I wasn't done there, so I wrote Destiny and Divided Loyalties. And then I thought, wow, I've got all these books in the bottom drawer. In my family, they became humorously known as the books in the bottom drawer that and Mum was never letting out. And I didn't for 5 years. And then one day I was brave enough to show my work, and the response was quite alarming. And so little by little I convinced myself that I wasn't going to be embarrassed by my work. I'd never plotted a storyline. I'd never plotted a character. I would just sit at the keyboard and I would write. 13 books later, not including my personal journey, Whispers of Hope, I had a first and a second series. I have the first 4 published. And in each one of these books, it tells another part of who I am. People get very, very confused, if you will, about the characters and the way the book's gone. I guess what it is, it's the story of my life. Throw in some imagination and you have the Kazzie K book series. Thank you.